But I'll tell you this: in some way, and this may be crazy, I don't mind if they come out passing the ball because I have to know if this guy's my quarterback or not, and I can't just say, all right, let him
At
be
the
a
expense of
15
winning
and 20.
games.
This what to me the whole season's about Jalen Hurts and whether do I have a franchise quarterback. So to me, I want to come out. I'm going to put him every opportunity to go out there and make the plays. And look, if we get 5-6 weeks in and we have to revert back to what we did last year, then he's not the guy.
Man, my boy, go back and forth, man. We have difference of opinions, and I love that fact. Him and LD, man, and here's my boy, Philly 500. I started my show out by saying this, Philly. It's time for the Philadelphia Eagles to move on from Miles Sanders and get themselves a running back. Hey, I don't know what it is with these papier-mâché Penn State backs, but, I mean, I got to tell you, dude, it's time. It's time to get a new back there. That 17 team, Philly, I mean, LeGarrette Blount was a red zone machine.
That's right.
And when you're looking at Miles Sanders, he's just not durable or reliable. What says you?
I mean, listen, I've been a big Miles supporter, but I'm kind of frustrated with all these injuries. Once again, we're in preseason. He plays one preseason game, one series, and he's hurt. Now he can't practice. So I'm with you. I think the trip to Cleveland, the mission isn't practice or it isn't preseason. It's Kareem Hunt. It's go after, talk to the Browns organization, figure out what you need to do, and trade for Kareem Hunt. That's the mission to me, because I agree with you. I think they need another running back.
And after the decision came down, Philly, for Deshaun to have 11 games, to me, I think Kareem's Hunt in that building went up because they're going to run the ball, and they're going to need two backs back there. And somebody suggested to me, why don't you call up Andrew Berry, because the relationship Howie has with Berry, offer him Andre Dillard and Rager, and you get a pick and you get Kareem Hunt back. I mean, to me, though, Dillard, boy, I'll tell you, man, if Mulatto or Lane go down, he's got to be one of the best substitute teachers in the league, and I don't know if I want to do that. What kind does that package, would that entice you if you were Cleveland?
It might if I'm Cleveland, but I don't know if I would get rid of Dillard either. Not for a running back. I think you could find a running back cheaper than that. But Kareem Hunt, he don't want to play. They're not paying him. He's not even working out with them. So if they're at an impasse and he's not going to play, then maybe you could get, I'd be willing to trade like Rager and a pick, something like that for him. But I think you need another running back, especially. Like, if you watched that last game, right, you watched at one point, it was a 3rd and goal, and Minshew was in, and they tried to run like a half yard. They couldn't get in. You need a power back down there. You need a goal line guy. You need a guy a little more physical. So I think you're right. I think they need a running back. I do.
They need, because if they want to, if they want this passing game to grow, Jalen's passing stats have to grow, not his running stats. I mean, right. They can't rely on him. Like, to me, Philly, what they did last year with Garoppolo, I mean, San Francisco is one of the top rushing attacks in the National Football League, but it wasn't because of their quarterback. It was because of jet sweeps. It was because of creativity in the offensive play calling by Kyle Shanahan. Plus they have durable and reliable backs in San Francisco. Mm-hmm. I can't even name them, but every week they got a 100-yard back there. I mean,
that's the Shanahans, right?
What's your take on Gainwell in Boston?
Listen, a lot of people are high. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are high on Kenneth Gainwell, but I have to see it on the field first. I think he showed that he could be a contributor. There's nothing about him saying, "Here's your number one back. This is a guy that we're going to rely on." I would still put Miles above there because Miles, at least when he plays, he has the ability to break off an 80-yarder at any time. But you can't rely on him. I agree. I think you need another running back. I think that's a big question mark for this team right now.
Here, let me say something else that I learned from Ed Kratz this morning. I was talking about it before I brought you on. Ed Kratz goes like this, that the Philadelphia Eagles so far in training camp have not had any focus or any work in the run game at all. Zero. He goes, I barely see it. I never really see it. And he believes that they're going to do what they did at the beginning of last year by coming out throwing the ball. So you're going to go away from something that you did in the regular season with massive success, and you're going to start the season that you ended up having to change your entire direction. And because you added A.J. Brown, Philly, and Jalen's in the second year, you truly think you're going to be a top 10 passing attack? Boy,
I don't know.
I want to see this.
But I'll tell you this. In some way, and this may be crazy, I don't mind if they come out passing the ball because I have to know if this guy's my quarterback or not. And I can't just say, all right, let him be a 15
games.
This what to me the whole season's about Jalen Hurts and whether do I have a franchise quarterback. So to me, I want to come out. I'm going to put him in every opportunity to go out there and make the plays. And look, if we get 5-6 weeks in and we have to revert back to what we did last year, then he's not the guy. Then he's not the guy. So to me, I want to know if he's the guy. I don't want any excuses. I don't want anything. So on in that aspect, I don't mind they come out throwing. But you have to still have some sort of balance, right? You have to have some sort of balance.
Which they had zero last year.
What they had, they didn't have any. But I mean, maybe they can't practice running the ball because they don't hit. They practice 58 minutes. They barely do anything. And then Miles Sanders gets hurt on one series of a real game. So maybe they don't have the horses to practice running back. I don't know. You know, I mean, I think, in all honesty, I think they probably practice. They probably know they can run the ball with that offensive line. I just think they need another running back. I definitely do.
Philly, let me hit this here too. You said earlier teams will come out and defend what made us successful last year, but at the same time, you're upset we're going to change it up. You have to understand something. This is why, and when I was talking to you about them starting, and I don't believe that they'll be successful out of the gate, but because their schedule is the way it is, they're going to be able to still win the East. But if you think you're going to come out and throw the ball 38 times, and you're going to get away from what made you the number one rushing attack in the NFL, and you were 27th, and you think A.J. Brown and the addition of him is going to turn this team into a top 10 passing team, you're out of your tree.
So, then we know we need a quarterback. Then I know I need my quarterback. I don't have to pay this guy $40 million.
But I can get Philly to a Super Bowl with Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah, but that's Colin Kaepernick. That's not necessarily
I think
Jalen
he
Hurts.
plays the same style. I think him and Jalen.
I think Kaepernick had a much bigger arm than Jalen Hurts. I think Kaepernick had a much bigger arm. And here's the other thing, I'll say. I mean, if we're talking about, like, how many throws do I give Jalen Hurts a week? What, 20, 25 passes? No more than that. So am I kind of wasting the talent I have? I have this A.J. Brown. I have Devonta Smith. I have Dallas Goedert. I mean, that's a scary offense. That's a scary offense. And I'm not going to even use them enough because I'm going to run the ball. I mean, I agree with you. They got to run the ball. I'm not saying I think they should throw 70% of the time. But I definitely think we have to let this guy go out and throw the ball, because if we don't, then I want to know if he's the guy or not. I want to know. I think it's harder to win with a guy like Kaepernick every year, a game manager, than a franchise quarterback.
I completely agree. And guys like Mahomes and some of these other guys, you get down in the scoreboard, you can throw yourself out of trouble. Colin Kaepernick, Jalen Hurts are not going to be with comeback. Hell, Lamar Jackson, that's one of the stigmas on him, is that you get a lead on that Ravens team, they're finished.
Yeah.
It wasn't until last year, Philly, when he beat the Chiefs, where people went, oh, that's a signature win for that kid because you beat one of those guys. So I think this is going to be an interesting start to the season. You mentioned Devonta Smith. Winning covers a lot of stuff here. When does it get to a point if you're Devonta Smith? Because I'll tell you something. You know what the Browns people, I know the equipment guy sends me a shitload of Brown stuff. I never wear it. I don't know. I don't know why he does it.
Come
I
on, you don't want to put them Browns gear on? Come on.
I'm never putting Browns gear on, dude. I never do. And never. He sends me everything. Jim Brown. I do have the Jim Brown jersey, so I'm good.
Got to keep that one.
Got to keep that one. But he goes like this. This is what the equipment manager of the Browns said to me about Devonta Smith. That guy, every time he went into a break, he was open.
I know.
I mean, the route running, he goes, Dan, the shake and bake he does on the line of scrimmage, this guy here, he was like this. Dan, I'll tell you, I didn't see him up close, but even our coaches were doing this. This guy is a player. When does it become frustrating to him? If he has another 70 catch season, or another 72 catch season, and another 900-yard season, when does that become frustrating to him? You know how these wideouts are, and I'm not saying he's complaining right now.
Yeah.
But eventually you got to start doing this, looking up at Cincinnati, don't you? And down in Miami with Jalen Waddle. Man, these guys are getting numbers. I'm not.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, I definitely hear what you're saying. But I think the way it's going to shake out is by the end of the year, he's going to be the guy leading in receptions and receiving.
So you think he's a better shot at getting 1,000 yards than AJ?
Yeah. I like AJ Brown. I do. I love Devonta Smith. Like, I think he was a player last year. If you go back and you watch like the all 22s of games last year, he was open all last year too. So, you know, I think Devonta Smith is going to have a monster season. I really do.
Boy, you should have heard him raving. He goes, Dan, everyone, when we were walking in to our facility, and I didn't get it. I'm going to get to it a little bit later. They were doing this about Devonta. I know Xander loves this. They were going, no, everyone was doing this. This guy, he's bigger than last year. Shake and bake he does on the line of scrimmage to get loose and shake people loose. That's one of the hardest things for a wide receiver to do is get separation off the line of scrimmage. You can't really jam him. This guy's like a ghost. He's like Casper the Ghost out there. You don't see him. I mean, to me, when I hear that, you better find him.
Well, can we tell
better find him?
Can we tell the Browns that he learned all his moves from Jalen Reagor and then trade Reagor to Cleveland and get rid of his ass? You know, can we do something like that? I love Devonta. Devonta's the man, dude.
All right, so let me go over here. So Pauly Shore's putting all these Elliot Pauly Shore something, this guy over, whatever.
18 to 22.
Yeah, 16 to 20, whatever it was. He gave him an A. What do you think of him?
He's on his way to 30 touchdowns. I think it's
if Big Sills could keep his practice stats, man. I would have made every team too in the NFL, man. I mean, absolutely.
Hey, I was waiting for you to call me up and say, "Listen, did you see what Elliott Shore Parks put? We're smoking a cigar today, baby. 18 to 22. You know."
I'm sure.
No, I think it's.
What do you make of these stats?
Funny. I think it's funny. I mean, I think out of all the videos I've done, I've put it up one time with the stats because I just kind of think it's funny sometimes. I don't put much stock into it at all, really. I like hearing more about, you know, like stuff like yesterday, like Devonta Smith open every play, catch, one hand. You know, I like hearing things like that. I don't really worry about all that stuff because, you know, once the game starts, it's completely different. You know that.
Hey, this just in. Elliott Spitzer, Shore Parks, Jalen Hurts, 6 touchdowns today.
Yeah, but they're working on red zone. You know what I mean? So it's like it's comical. I think it's kind of funny. Yeah.
Your take on Jonathan Gannon? I don't think he's a good coach.
Yeah, I worry about him, and you know my fear is that I'm afraid he's going to be stubborn in certain situations where, you know, when he needs the blitz, he doesn't want to blitz because he doesn't feel like, you know, those kind of things. I don't like the whole bend but don't break philosophy. I think in today's football, you have to attack, especially because the whole game is geared towards the offense. So you have to get to the quarterback. That's the defense's best way to chop the offense's head off. And so he's my number one concern going into the season, Jonathan Gannon.
How about Hurts? So Philly, you've had Jim Schwartz, you've had Bud Carson, Buddy Ryan, and Jim Johnson. Can you imagine going to any one of those 4 guys and saying this? hey, we're going to implement a bend but don't break defense. And
No.
hey, could you imagine walking into Buddy Ryan's office or
No.
Bud Carson's or Jim Johnson's office and go, hey, I think we're bringing way too much pressure on the quarterback.
No, I get instant
softer zone.
No, I instantly think when you telling Buddy Ryan that, I think when he was the Edmonton or the Houston Oilers defensive coordinator, and he went and punched his offensive coordinator in the face.
Yeah.
That's what I think of when I think of, telling Buddy Ryan that. No, that's completely – it doesn't make any sense, especially in the way that the game is played today and the way that the league's rules favor the offense. I don't understand the bend, don't break. I think you have to go after the court. You have to bring back the 46 defense. Bring them back, man. I'm all for it. I think you have to be aggressive in today's NFL.
Hey, Philly, let me tell you a quick Buddy Ryan story. I told some of these people this. So I get released by the Bucks, and I was going on this caravan. I ended up, unfortunately, in Dallas. And last 5 games of the year, I think this was the 88 season, last 5 games. So my last place I landed was Philly. And Jerome had played so bad against the Giants, and Buddy Ryan was so pissed. So he goes like this, and I forget, man. I think it was Bud Carson. Bud goes, because Bud wanted to sign me, and he goes, "Hey, there's Buddy. Go over and say hi." So Jerome goes, he takes me over, and he goes, "So Buddy Ryan." Buddy turns to me and goes, "I know who you are. I know who you are. You think I want another one of you motherfuckers around here? You see what he did last night? You think I want one of you? You think I want another one of you guys around here? Not happening." I'm going like this. What the hell? Hey, this was at the vet in the dungeon in the cages down there too. When he did this, they were going out I was like, hey, Bud Carson's jaw hit the floor. He goes, "Dude, I really wanted to sign you too." And I'm going, man. Buddy Ryan, man. Real quick.
I love Buddy.
Oh, me too, man. No starters, or do you think they should be some starters going in there versus the Browns, or are we just getting ready now for Detroit September 11th?
I don't think they're going to play them. I don't think they're going to play their starters, but I think they should. I think they should play a whole half. If it was me, I want them to get reps. I want them to be out there. But I don't think the Eagles will do that. I'd be surprised if they played even one series. If you look at last year, games 2 and 3, they didn't play anybody. So I expect that again.
Yeah, look at this. Aikman said he hated playing against Jim Johnson. I'm sure there's quarterbacks out there going, "Oh my God, Jonathan Gannon and that great defensive mind, man. He just throws fear in me." Texas Eagle. I hope Hurts gets it done, but if not, I think we are definitely building a really good team. Oh no, I agree with what Philly 500 said. Philly goes like this. Look at that offense. Yeah, for a guy who can wing the ball down the field, you put Aaron Rodgers in this Philadelphia Eagle offense, they don't lose a game.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah. I think so. And so, it's time to see what Hurts can do. I don't mind him throwing more early on. And if I have to revert back to what I did last year, then I know I need a quarterback, and then I can go from there. That's kind of how I feel about it. I don't want any excuses. I want to know whether he's the guy or not. And I don't know if he's the guy. I really don't. I have no idea. Not until he plays. But
no, I agree.
need to know.
I think week 7, like I said, going into the bye, I think we're going to know. Philly, you're always open to coming on. Hey,
awesome,
man, where can people find you? Tell people where they can find you.
Just type in Philly 500 on YouTube, and you should see a bunch of meltdown videos or whatever else I have on there. But I'm there, easy find. So, I'm there.
I love you, Paisan.
Love you too, my man.
Fun,
you too.
Man, this weekend.
I'm going to go have a couple cannolis and some gabagool, and we'll get ready for this
season. Hey, buona fortuna to my brother. How
there
you doing?
Go.
Let's go. Let's talk to you later. Thank you, Philly. 85 goes, explain the type of defense needed to cover Brown, Smith, Watkins, Pascal, and Goddard. Well, that's great if you have a quarterback. That's great if you have a quarterback, my friend. Hey, do me a favor. Hit the like button. I want to talk about Devonta Smith. I want to tell you what the Philadelphia Eagle people were hearing and what the Browns people were saying. I'm kind of plugged into that Browns organization. Okay? Trainers, always remember this, trainers and equipment managers hear everything. And wait till I tell you, and I kind of buried the lead a little bit with Philly on Devonta Smith. Hit the like button. By the way, our friends at Morgan & Morgan, please do me a favor. If you're hurt or injured on the job, this is the one law firm that will take care of you. They will make sure if you're hurt or injured on the job, you will get your fair compensation for your family. The last 30 years, they've collected over $13.5 billion in compensation for their clients. For the people is not a slogan. They have 800 attorneys strong across the country. Makes them the biggest firm in the country. The biggest. That's right. They will not be intimidated, and there's no such thing as a fender bender. Okay? Call them at 800-512-1600. That's 800-512-1600. The call is free. The consultation's free. 800-512-1600. Open 24/7, 7 days a week. And when you call Morgan & Morgan, you tell them Big Sil sent you.
When choosing a lawyer for your injury case, you may ask, does the size of the law firm matter? Well, of course it does. The insurance company, they're huge with unlimited resources. And whether your case is big or small, they're built to bully you out of the money you're owed. But here's the good news. We're big too, the biggest actually. And we're built to fight to make them pay for all that was taken from you. Size is our strength. There's only one Morgan & Morgan. ForThePeople.com.